Hi everyone, MultifamilyGeeks.com. This is Max Rock checking back in. I made a video on processing and analyzing the rent roll, and it was quite a long video. It was an hour and 6 minutes. It was sort of 4 clips of going through it and going through it and going through it again. And I like that. If you want to, see sort of the pitfalls of going through the rent roll, that's a great video to watch. However, the one thing I did not do was go back through and show, somehow I neglected to show sorting the rent roll. So here I went back just to pick one that we had used before, just to show that how to sort the rent roll after you've processed it. So take a look at this. This is, if you watch that other video, it'll show you how to process the rent roll down to this level. And that one that's in that longer video actually did not need sorting, and that's actually very unusual. So what you see here is now all the extra rows of the rent roll are removed. We have the vacants highlighted. We have some others highlighted here. Is this one vacant or not, right? Some questions where we're not sure what's going on. It looks like a vacant unit right there, the way it's labeled. And then you have the important columns are square feet, rent, and market rent. Those are important. But what we really want to do before we drop this into the comprehensive underwriting, the comprehensive underwriting reproduces the rent roll on step 10. Scroll to the right to step 10. Sorry, I can't talk right now. And you'll see things like a 1-1, 22 of them. 1-1 partial upgrade, 50 of them. Right, 1-1 platinum, which is a full upgrade, and actually that's step 11. Let's go back to step 10 here. Same information is being repeated over from 10 to 11. This is a processing of this rent roll, but when we're done getting rid of all the extra rows, we now want to sort it so that it looks like this. And notice how great this is. So here we have square feet. These are all the 548 square footers. And we've divided out all the A1 units. So we're going to sort from this one, which is not sorted yet, but it is prepped, it is processed, but that last step of sorting is not done yet. And when we do sort it, we will now have it in a format like this, where we can say, okay, there are 22 548 square feet units that are being rented currently for an average of $751, and the seller thinks the market price should be $770 on those, right? And here to show you that is this first line, 548 square feet, 22 of them. They're 1-1s, and they're being currently rented for $751, and the seller thinks they should rent, if they were at market, at $770. And then remember, why isn't the seller able to rent these at market? Because apartments, rent on typically 12-month leases, right? So you've got someone in a 12-month lease, the market rent keeps going up, but you can't go back to that person and say, oh, we're going to raise your rent. No, they have a lease in place that's good for those 12 months. So you end up with this differential between the current rent and the market rent, right? And that's an opportunity when we buy this, where we know that at some point we can move this to market rent. And then we're going to fix up units, and then we're going to go to an even higher rent here before fixing up and after. And this column actually is where we might disagree. So, the seller thinks the market rent is $770. We don't agree right here from our comps. We think the market rent is $762 from our analysis. And we're going to use ours when we start to project how to buy this. Just because the seller says they think the market rent's $770, we don't believe it. We've done our own comp analysis down below. Here's the worksheet for the comparatives. These are unrenovated on the left and renovated on the right. Anyway, let's get back to the idea of the rent roll and sorting. Let's take this, and here's how it's done. We're going to highlight the entire rent roll by clicking the All Highlight, step 1. Step 2, we're going to go to the Data menu, click Sort Range. It's the 5th one down on mine during this version, during this videoing. When we click Sort Range, it wants to know what columns to sort by. So it's grayed out where you can't see it very well right now, but we've got two. We've got a column D as the square feet, and column C is the unit type. So let me kind of start over. column D is the square feet, and look where we're headed. We're headed towards sorting it so that we have the square feet here sorted, and then so first by square feet and second by unit type. All right, so go back to the copy. So we're going to sort first by column D, then we're going to have it sort by column C. So we highlighted the whole thing by doing the all highlight rectangle right here. We go to data, sort. We're first going to sort column D from A to Z. We're going to add another column, and we're going to also sort from column C, A to Z. So what is the spreadsheet, what's the computer application going to do for us? It's going to first sort column D in order from low to high. Then it's going to go back through that sort, and for each of those categories in D, it's going to sort C within that. So once we click sort here, boom. All right, so let's see if we can figure out what's going on. Let's go back over here. Oh, okay, so I don't like sort of all this extra stuff in there. Let's go back, and you can always undo, by the way. You can see the sort right here, but sometimes it'll start to add in extra things if I don't clean those up. So I'm going to undo the sort. It'll put it back where it was. I'm going to go down to the bottom here, and remember, I have the original of the rent roll already, so I can always go back and look at it. But see all these extra things that the information system puts in? I'm going to nuke out some of this. I'm going to delete this. I'm going to erase it, because as you start to sort, it'll sometimes throw extra lines into your sort, and now all of a sudden you won't have the right number of units anymore. And I might as well go ahead and get rid of this too. Okay, there we go. Now let's go back through and do it one more time. Highlight all, data, sort range, column D is the square feet, secondary sort, add another column, column C is the unit type, sort, there we go. And so now I would start to go down through this, and I would say, all right, let's put a demarcation, a line right here. There we go. And so 548 square foot units here, and A1s. A1s are all 1-1s, and I can look at the OM to help confirm that, right? Go down to the next group. Still 548 square feet, but the importance of the secondary sort is now you can see this A1P, which stands for partial upgrade in this case. That's their code system. So now I can go to the bottom of the A1Ps. There they end right there, and put another demarcation or line. And then there's an A1U. That's a fully upgraded. So within, you can't just sort by square feet alone. You've got to sort first by square foot, then by unit type, because we want to aggregate the upgraded unit. That'll be separate. And then notice I put in these three lines here, these three columns here. Let's expand that out. I inserted those, right, because now I'm going to start to take some notes and number these. And by the way, when you're counting, let's just do a quick count. Count the 548s right here. Come down here to the right and say count. There it is. See the count 22? Click that. So there's 22 right here. So that's how we came up with 22 of these units. And now I'll go back to the other video which explains how to find the average of the pricing of these and the average of the market, right? This is the average price. Well, I might as well show it right here. Let's do it right here again. Equals sum. No, I don't want to sum. I want to find average if. I do not want it to average a 0. And see how there's 0 rent for that? If you just take an average of this column, you're going to get an error because of this 0. I want to say an average of these prices. Bing. I want to say common, and look up this code if you don't know it. It's a quotations less than greater than 0 quotation parentheses. This will only take the average as long as it's not 0, so it'll automatically take this out in the average calculation. Averages, and I would take this column and go boom, boom, boom. Well, let's just make a format, number, and get rid of the 2. I don't want to know any kind of, I want it to round up to the nearest dollar. So that's what the average of their rent they're charging, and I would then copy this over, just go like this, and it moves now to the next column. Notice that this right here, get rid of this so you can see it. This is now averaging the market. So here I have 22 548 square foot units renting at an average of $751, and they believe the market is $770, and that's what I moved over and inserted right here. 548, 22, they're one ones. 751 is that average of current rent, very important to me. Not including the zeros, by the way. We took those out because that's that unit is vacant for the moment, but we want to know the average they're charging for those one ones. It would be unfair to include a zero in there. It would skew the amount quite a bit. You can go back and test it. In fact, I'll show you that. Go back here. Just take this and take out the average if, right? Just call this a regular average of that column. Remember, an average is they add up all the numbers in the sequence and divide by the total number of data points. So average of this here. Now it's got the zero in it because we didn't do that special average if. Look at this, 717 versus 751, all because of 1 0. You cannot include that zero. It's not fair. Okay, it's not fair analysis of the property. You've got to take that out, use the average if statement, and then you'll be back at 751. I'm going to go ahead and put this one back where it was in case I need it later. So I'm actually unsorting it. There we go. There we go. There we go. And there we go. Okay, so that takes it back to where it was. I just undid everything I did because I've already done it here on the rent roll where I've gone through. See the 751 and the 770, and I've completed all that. So hope this is a supplementary video to the other rent roll analysis video on specifically how to sort that rent roll to sort first by square feet, second by unit type, to get a great list that's ready to now be processed and go into the comprehensive underwriting for a full and complete analysis of your property. Hope this helps. This is Max Rock with MultifamilyGeeks.com.